After failing for 5 years, once I figured out what would actually work for me, I've been able to stick with it. It's been fun. It's been easy thinking about learning a third language in the future. This changed everything. So you want to learn a second language. Maybe you've tried in the past, maybe you're actively trying right now, but you're feeling unhappy with your results. This video is about to change everything for you. I know you're probably thinking, why should I trust this girl? I've tried everything already. Why is this going to be different than any other video that I've watched? Just picture this. Last year, I'm in Mexico for the 7th year in a row. All of a sudden, this deep-rooted desire to learn Spanish came rushing to the surface. Desire was only met by the reminder of every failed attempt. I had actually completely given up on language learning for good. Felt like I tried everything multiple times over the course of 5 years with no luck. My brain isn't wired for it. I just can't do it. Can't even tell you how much I hated being in Mexico and only knowing hola and ¿dónde está el baño? A lot of the time, I'd forget how to say that even. What made it worse is a lot of Mexicans would speak to me in Spanish first. I had to sit there and say, I don't speak Spanish. You speak to me in English even though I'm in your country. I'm hearing Spanish all around me. Something in me, you are meant to know this language. I came back to Minnesota, and what happened next is unbelievable. It's been less than a year, now able to listen to native content, speak with natives, read in Spanish, journal in Spanish. I feel like I have completely tricked the system. I'm on a mission to help anybody else who feels hopeless and lost in their language learning journey tell you that you can do it too. It hasn't been a year. I haven't even had the chance to go back to Mexico. After failing for 5 years, once I figured out what would actually work for me, I've been able to stick with it. It's been fun. It's been easy. So excited to tell you everything I know. Start out, we need to cover 2 very important realizations that made all this possible. Number 1, figuring out how the grammar works and then memorizing a bunch of vocab words does not equal fluency. I think that is very far off, and it's unfortunate that that's kind of how we're taught in school. Number 2, consistency trumps intensity. One of our biggest problems, we focus on what we're going to do. It is the perfect study routine, instead of focusing on how long are we going to be able to do this. Let's say you create the perfect study routine, but you only stick with it for a month. Versus you interact with your target language every day, 5 minutes a day for the next year. Which one do you think will get you further? Are you with me? So what we have to do is actually very simple. Build a language learning routine that is 1, fail-proof for us to stay consistent with, even on our busiest days. And 2, will get us to real-world fluency and not just like on paper fluency where I can translate this sentence, but when my neighbor tries to talk to me in my target language, I can't understand a thing he says. I can't ask him how his day was, or if I can ask him, definitely can't understand what he said in response. So let's get into the 2 powerful techniques that you're going to use to build your fail-proof language learning routine. I used comprehensible input to learn Spanish from zero. Use real-world content in Spanish to get to the level where I'm at today. It's made the transition so much easier when I'm at the restaurant speaking with a Mexican worker, or that neighbor that speaks my target language, watching native YouTube content, or watching Netflix. It's made it so much easier instead of trying to piece together vocab and grammar and then suddenly able to understand a native speaker speaking to me. Yes, this works if you are a complete beginner. This is exactly where I was when I started. It's how I would learn a third language. This is what we're going to build off of, but I'm going to give you the habits that I implemented to see tangible results within 1 month. These are going to be the building blocks of your routine to set you up for success. I also created a free guide for you to create your routine with these habits, giving you tips and examples. I believe in this method so much, and I do not want this to be just another video that you watch but never actually go on to implement what is taught. First, we will be talking about habit replacing. Now, don't get scared. Key here is we will be making simple, small habit replacements that don't feel like extra work and that aren't adding extra time to your already busy life. Remember, a big thing we're going for here is consistency. So these small changes are going to slide so smoothly into your routine. They're pretty much fail-proof not to stick with. So here's how it works. Let's say you sit down every single day to eat your breakfast, and while you're eating, you have your phone in your hand. You're scrolling on TikTok, maybe you're watching a YouTube video, you name it, for those 10 to 15 minutes, you're sitting there, phone in hand, looking at something. If you made a very small shift, instead of scrolling or watching a random YouTube video, you're going to sit down to eat your breakfast, something you're already doing, and you're going to play one short video in your target language. Guarantee over time, you will see massive results. Let's take a step back and see why this small shift works so well. Number one, the habit is already in place. You're eating breakfast every single day. Number two, you're not doing something boring like studying vocab or grammar, something that after a week, I'm sure you'll be ready to be done with. You did this every day for 2 weeks, even as a super beginner who knows nothing about their target language. Guarantee you would see results, so much so that you wouldn't want to stop. And that's just a few moments at breakfast. Can you imagine the possibilities if we took this a step further? For those of you ready to take this to the next level, let's talk about another habit that all of us have in our routine. Who doesn't love winding down the night with a great series or show on Netflix, maybe Disney Plus? We all love that. There's a very simple, very small shift that we can make here that will have a huge positive impact on our language learning goals. Watching equally entertaining, binge-worthy shows, but in our target language. A lot of people acknowledge the power of immersion when it comes to language learning. Today's day and age, we can use the power of immersion and learn straight from our home by strategically immersing ourselves in our target language. My favorite platform that makes this specific habit shift so easy and so fun is Lingopie. Lingopie is the Netflix of language learning, literally. Their platform has content in 9 different languages, and they have over 3,000 shows and movies. You're getting content directly from the culture of your target language. You're truly getting an immersive and fulfilling experience. The layout of the platform itself looks just like Netflix or Disney Plus. What I love is you can tell it was made with the language learner in mind. They have covered every little detail to give us the best experience possible. All the tools are customizable, so you can pick and choose what works best for you based on your level, your preferences, your learning method. A few examples. They have customizable subtitles, so you can have actually both languages up on the screen. There's an instant translation option. They have quizzes and flashcards that you can go through. And I want to highlight a few of my personal favorite features. Number one, easily navigated speed adjustment. Huge proponent of this. This is exactly how I move up in levels to harder content, podcasts, videos, you name it. Second favorite feature is auto pause. I like to use this for shadowing practice, which is basically repeating what was said to help with your accent and the way that language is flowing out of your mouth. Third absolute favorite feature is the side script. At the level that I'm at in Spanish, I love to watch native YouTube content and I don't have a problem with that. With scripted series and movies, sometimes when something was said and I didn't quite catch it, I have to rewind it and try to catch it, and it kind of disrupts the flow. With this side script feature on Lingopie, enjoy the show without subtitles. If I happen to miss what was said, a quick glance over can read exactly what was said without interrupting the flow, me enjoying the show. Make sure to check out Lingopie. They have a 7-day free trial. Get to know the platform. I know you'll love it. Link will be in my description. Do you see the pattern here? We're not overhauling our routine, carving out a bunch of extra time, or promising ourselves we're going to sit down for an hour and study boring grammar. We are making small changes that are super easy to stay consistent with, which is what actually matters if we want to see results. Now that you get the idea, let's move on to the second technique that you're going to use to seamlessly integrate your learning into your everyday. A reminder, our first technique was habit replacing. This one is habit stacking. All about adding a language learning habit on top of something you're already doing every day. I know that every single person looking at me right now gets ready in the morning. What if while you're getting ready, you started listening to a podcast in your target language? Or you can do what I do and listen to morning meditation, affirmations, a sermon, a little bit more slow, fit for the morning time in your target language. You are watching me and you are a complete beginner. Do not worry. I was able to transition to beginner podcasts, aka listening only options, a month and a half into my learning journey. So even if you can't apply this specific habit yet, you will be able to very soon. And once you put in a little bit of work to get to listening only input, you are truly off to the races. Think podcasts or music every time you take the dog on a walk, while you're cleaning up the house, on your lunch break, during your daily commute. The options are endless. You'll be able to really rack up your input hours for the day, which ultimately transfers into learning your target language much faster. You will quickly fall in love with the compounding results that you're seeing, how effortlessly you're seeing them, and you will not want to stop. And all of this is just going to push you to keep going. Your language isn't just going to be about something that you have to do until you finally reach the goal. Target language will be so ingrained into your day-to-day. It's going to be part of your life. You're going to enjoy the process, which is the most important thing. 9 months into my language learning journey, it doesn't feel like learning ever. I'm doing my morning journaling in Spanish. I'm listening to music in Spanish. I'm watching my favorite YouTubers in Spanish. All of these things I'm able to do because of the work and these habits that I implemented very early on in my journey that allowed me to get to this point. Like I said in the beginning, I can't believe that this has happened. Your language has so many more benefits than you even know. I always thought, oh, well, you can speak and hear natives speaking to you in real life and you can travel. Yes, and that's going to be amazing, but it has enhanced my life in ways that I never could have imagined, that I never thought of, even in terms of content that I'm able to watch from other countries. It's amazing. It's life-changing. Seriously think everybody should learn a second language. If you have made it this far into the video, I know that you are serious about your language learning journey and you want to start this, you want to be successful. I have put together a free document for you. Organize where are you at? What habits are you switching? Some tips for you, everything to get you started. And I want you to download that right now, today. Fill that out because this is serious. You interact with your target language every day for the next year in some way, shape, or form. I guarantee you will see results. I'm going to challenge you. Save this video. Come back in 1 year and leave me a comment in your new language. I'll be waiting for you. From this moment on, you are bilingual to me. I wish you the absolute best of luck. Don't forget to check out Lingopie's 7-day free trial. What better way to take off your language learning journey? Fill out my free guide. Go check out Lingopie tonight. I will see you very soon, my friend. Bye.